Guy is beyond horrible. He is, I told Julie this before, he's a pig, okay? He needs to go to jail for the rest of his life. He's raping little girls. 2 of them are 10.
A blunt description from Hamilton County's prosecutor about a man he says is a serial rapist. Someone was breaking into homes and raping girls in Mount Washington and Anderson Township back at the turn of the century. 20 years later, investigators say they have their man, William Blankenship. The 55-year-old is linked to 3 cases. He's accused of raping a woman in her home in 1999. 2 years later, police say he took a 10-year-old girl from a camper where she was sleeping and raped her in a field. Later that same year, officers say he raped a 15-year-old in her home. Investigators were able to link Blankenship to the victim's DNA, but not in the way you might think. Rather, Brad Underwood joins us from Mount Washington with that part of the story. Brad, this is really fascinating how this all came about.
It really is, and when you just look at the science part about this, a pretty cool turn of events here for investigators and scientists, Paula. You know, you talk about the crimes that were committed here in Mount Washington and in Anderson Township. Plenty of DNA was collected 21 years ago, but no matches in the police database. So investigators eventually turning to a Virginia tech company that is now helping to solve cold cases across the country using your family tree.
For 20 years, this sketch was all police had to go on in trying to find a serial rapist targeting young women.
You commit a crime, we'll find you. May not be today, may not be next week, may not even be this month, but we'll eventually find you, even if it's 20 years.
It did take 20 years, but investigators say there's no doubt Blankenship is the rapist they've been looking for.
We finally have found this guy and we can deliver justice to the victims.
That's possible because researchers at Parabon Nanolabs used genetic genealogy to narrow the search.
From May 1st, 2018, we have been asked to work on about 300 cases, and we have 95 successful identifications so far in that time.
CC Moore is Parabon's chief genetic genealogist. Through publicly available genetic databases like GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA, she's able to create a possible family tree, locate relatives of a likely suspect, and point law enforcement in a specific direction. In these cases, that's Blankenship.
We're just helping to provide answers and hopefully resolution, maybe even justice in some of these cases.
Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters believes this is just the beginning and that there are more victims out there. He says he's asking Kentucky Commonwealth's attorneys to look at cold cases for similarities.
I've been in touch with our state police crime lab to see if they have any unsolved cases out there from any of the locations in northern Kentucky or counties in northern Kentucky that might be a match to this offender.
Rob Sanders there, the Kenton County Commonwealth's attorney, speaking with him earlier tonight, saying that no matches have been found yet, but given the time frame we're talking about here, possibly 21 years, at least since this first crime in 99, there's going to be a lot of police reports, a lot of departments and prosecutors to talk to, and it's just going to take maybe some more time. Reporting live tonight in Mount Washington, Brad Underwood, Local 12 News. Paula.
Thank you, Brad. And Blankenship faces life in prison if he's convicted.